Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Midweek Manna. You know, just like everyone else, our eyes have been on the devastating effects of Hurricane Dorian that has literally just sat upon the Grand Bahamian Islands and has devastated that entire population. And let me tell you, everyone is looking at it, and I am too, and I have certainly been praying for, as I'm sure you have, and people around the world have been praying for the citizens of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahamian Islands. And I will tell you that it certainly touches my heart to have seen the after effects of such a gripping storm. So I'm going to challenge each and every one of us to continue lifting them up in prayer. Not only them, but there's devastation and destruction that is all around us. The ferry boat that went up in flames off the coast of California. The another mass shooting in Texas, and as of those in Dayton, Ohio, and another part of Texas. And so we're just going to lift up all of those folks in prayer all the time. You know, we live in a fallen world, and we live in a world where we don't always understand what's going on. And there are so many things that, obviously, as I've said in many videos and sessions before, we live in a world where there is always so much going on. But I want to turn our attention to the devastation and all of the opportunities that we faced in this country with gun violence and mass shootings. I certainly don't want to give any glory to the devil. I don't want to give any glory to any of the evil that takes place. But I want to certainly give hope to those families that are going through, even recently with this monstrous storm, Hurricane Dorian, that literally just sat on those islands and just wreaked havoc for over 24 hours. I want to give us some hope, and that hope comes out of Jeremiah chapter 18. And some of you may know this story. It is of Jeremiah, who was a prophet. He was one of Israel's great and mighty prophets that the Lord had spoke to, and the Lord had ministered unto to minister to the people of Israel. And of course, Israel had done some wrong, and we know Israel's history. They've been in and out of God's grace, if you will, just like all of us. While God's grace never left us, it was we chose to walk away in some cases. But God used a very vivid illustration with Jeremiah, and he used some clay. And in Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 1, let me read it to you from the scripture, that the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, and it said, Arise, go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my words. So Jeremiah, he goes to this potter's house, and he sees a work that's being done on the potter's wheel. And the vessel that was on the wheel was made of clay, but it was marred in the hands of the potter. And so the potter, being skillful, made it again into another vessel that seemed good. Now, the story goes on that God was really telling Jeremiah that they were just like the clay, and he, of course, being the potter, who is able to put those broken things, those fractured pieces of clay and material and possessions, or even this fractured spiritual state or emotional state that we're in, that he is able to put those things back together. Now, everybody says that it's going to be a long time before the Bahamas gets back to where it needs to, or the families that have lost loved ones in these recent tragedies that have struck across America. It may take some time, but the good thing for us as the believer is that we know the potter, and the potter wants to put us back together again. And while he didn't say how long it would be, if we just have faith the size of a mustard seed, the potter is able to put us back on the wheel and spin us back into something, from being fractured into something that's fabulous. Let's keep praying for those families that were devastated by these last few tragic events. But let's not lose hope in the God that we serve, because he keeps us on the wheel and he is able to shape us and mold us into a work of art that is pleasing unto him. God bless you in this week's Midweek Manna. Continue lifting those folks up in your prayers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you choose this week's Midweek Manna. Take care and God bless.